So yeah, like I'm saying, S tier, minimal brain activity. A tier, you think you're respectable, but really you're just still filth. Below that, it's an honest day's work. Below that is, it's not looking good, bro. And then below that is why. So I'll just do it like in order as they come. Baraka, mate, why bother? The character don't do anything. I can't even think of a good situation for Baraka. High projectile, slow movement. A good situation for Baraka, right, is when your opponent has to come to you. The redeeming thing about him is probably his back two. Like overheads, like a decent overhead's rare in this game. Yeah, so like his back two gives him knockdown, gives him a bit of advantage, carry on, covers a bit of distance. That's about it really. That's all I can really think for him. Cassie is very obviously, in my opinion, an honest day's work. She ain't filth, but it's also, it's not looking good, bruv, because she can open you up. She's working because she's got no health. She's got to chase a lot of characters, but then half of the characters have to chase her. So it's probably going to be a theme in this, because like Mortal Kombat is a game, a series where like life leads matter a lot. So Cetrion, I'm not putting her like tippity top tier. I think she's filth. Like, she's quite clearly filth, but I don't think she's like minimal brain activity, and I'll show you why. Now, I know I'm using Sub-Zero for this example, but the theory applies to a lot of characters. Sub-Zero is just the most potent, the main thing people are thinking of. Like, oh, you do everything into the wind. If you've got a 6 frame, you can actually poke out that. That's the first thing, right? Against Sub, that's obviously bad. Everybody can flawless block here. If I was actually capable of doing what I'm saying, basically, you flawless block out of here. There, look, boom, you can flawless block. Up 3 would definitely beat that over. So then, knowing that means she's got to cover that gap. This by itself, unsafe. If you can flawless block it, flawless block the wall. Right, PC timing. There you go, look, boom, unsafe. And then it's characters with like dash punch, so there's like Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Jacqui, those kind of characters with like fast advancing specials. They punish her pretty hard as well, so like beams, punish. If you're close enough, this is also a punish. Geras can short hop that and sand trap it. Basically, that reduces the chip of the ground pound by like half as well, because she's going to be only ever getting that first hit against anyone that's decent. So it's like 1.5% for the risk of, like, Jacqui will just leap out of that. She'll just leap and just land on top of her. Basically, my point with Cetrion is like, yeah, she's good. Like, she's got this is probably the way to play Cetrion, right? You do this, and you spend bar on that, do some throws, mostly just play around that. But saying that, her offense is also a risk on hit. You know, you got this down 1, right? That's supposed to be a check there. A lot of characters can get out of this mind game, or make the mind game in their favor. Like Sub does backdash back 3. Okay, so if you're getting hit with that for doing down 1, what about if you do down 4? Same thing. So like, if you're a character that has a normal that can actually hit her out down 4, if she immediately checks you, then she's risking herself against the backdash. So the risk is she gets a poke or she gets full comboed. Alright, so what should you do to beat the backdash? She has to do like forward dash 1-1. Right, so if she has to do a forward dash, now you just press a button. So like, the worst case scenario for the player defending against Cetrion is they eat like what, 20, just under 20% or something. In the best cases they get max damage. If you're actually big brain as well, you can do you think they're gonna do 1-1, you can get under that. Yeah, there's a lot of intricacies to it, but I think all of these things make it actually a risk for her to run her offense, basically. It's a matter of like, does your character have the things to play these options well around her? But there's enough characters that can do it and that are relevant in the game as well. So yeah, Cetrion's filth, but you think you're respectable. Dvorah, I don't think it's as bad as Baraka. I think it's not looking good, bruv. Like, it's not looking good. What's the one thing she's got? She's got this, right? This is what Dvorah's got. That, pretty much. Just anything. You basically want to get the bug out at all costs. Because everything else she's doing, like this, is slow. This is a high, and not that fast as well. Pokes are okay, but they're not great. This 1-2-1 string, that yeah, you're +1, but your fastest poke is 8 frames. So your +1 is basically like being 0 against everybody else, because most of the other characters have got 7 frames. as their fastest move. So that's long and all. It jumps alright, but when people are just doing this, there's not really that much to worry about. It's a lot of, you're doing a lot for a little. It's not really that great in return, I don't think. Yeah, like I was saying, the redeeming factor is this. But she could probably be played a bit differently. If that was the case, then why don't people just play her like this? Bug, like, call out that. Do something to give you another bug, and then just make people run towards you and throw people and do overheads all game. That's probably the way I do it. So yeah, Dvorah, it's not looking good, bruv. Erron, it's either between it's not looking good, bruv, or an honest day's work, but I'm gonna put him in an honest day's work. He's like strike throw the character. Erron is literally do this, but 11 frame command grab, 11 frame mid, guess. That's the character. 11 frame command grab, 11 frame mid. And then the rest of the question is, how do you get there to do it? Down fours, command grab. Oh wait, down fours, command grab, down fours, mids. This is all unbreakable, it's pretty good. And then the rest of building him is like, how do you make this safe? Like you can take scud shot, or you can take the low gun, or both. That's what I pick when I use them. Use the command grab, low gun, scud shot. That way, like, you kind of need scud shot to just to be able to get in a bit easier against some of these characters. He's an honest man. He's doing honest things. He's doing, are you gonna get gripped or are you gonna eat the overhead? And he's just gonna loop that scenario as best as he can, like an honest man. Frost, I think that's basically the same thing with her. Actually, she belongs in this tier, but she's not actually entirely honest. That's really good. I ain't got Frost on here. Basically, Frost is cheap. Check out the Frost is cheap video on YouTube and you'll see what I mean. She's got something cheap, but she's also held back by the fact that her throws don't loop. Hasn't got an auto shimmy. She hasn't got a decent overhead. She does have a good anti-air though. And all of her projectiles are highs. That's probably the biggest thing for her. She kind of struggles to make people come towards her. And when you're always chasing in this game, it's not looking good, bruv. But it's balanced out by the cheapness of the other offense she has. Geras is, you think you're respectable, but really you're still filth. 100%. He outruns a lot of characters. The thing that keeps him here though is you got like your Jacqui's terrible matchup. I can't imagine Kabal's that good of a match. Actually, Kabal might not be as bad. Fujin's a terrible matchup. Sub-Zero ain't that great for him as well. Anything he don't like is played relatively often. So yeah, he thinks he's respectable, but he's still filth because he's got sand trap, projectile immunity, teleports to get out of everything, mid command grab. Throw loops on both sides, decent damage. Yeah, he's still filth. Jacqui, minimal brain activity. I don't think that really needs much more to say. She's gonna leap all over you, and you've got to guess. You've got like a million mind games on her goop when she leaps on top of you. Like, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna spend the second bar? Is she gonna do it immediately? Is she gonna spend any bar at all? And then on top of that, like all of her normals are basically she's mid on everything, barely minus on everything. And even on the she is minus on, it's like, oh, you're gonna leap here. Because if you leap and she leaps and you try and take your turn, you're dead. It's just one of them sort of things. Jade players think they're respectable, but really they're still filth. Alright. Jade is like probably one of the better pressure characters in this game that people don't play as a pressure character, and I don't understand. Jacqui's too low. Yeah, Jacqui's still too low on that list, mate. He's sort that out. This string is like, this is one of the best strings in the game. I'm so certain of it. 11 frame mid, -7 on block. No gap into that. -7 on block with some distance, so you still have like a game against most characters. And then of course, that has a gap, +5. But the way this works is, because they're ducking, the pushback is less. So if you keep your eyes open for that, you can see what's going on. Like you can do, now you're still in range for a back 3. If they're standing, then they're just gonna get clipped by that, and you're gonna be +8, and then just do it again. That's why you see me go through like Demigod literally just untouched, because I'm just watching if people are standing or ducking on this string, and then just doing either the dance or the string, or seeing if they're flawless blocking as well. When this hits, this jails, alright. Got a relatively decent overhead check there. Or you can do the mid again, or you can throw. You basically every option is yours. If you ain't doing mad damage, like combo wise, like the amount of times you get these hits, they add up quick. So that's kind of her thing. She's looping the pressure situation on you repeatedly. And then obviously she's got glow and all that. But I don't think she's really... I think she's using all of this just to draw you into this. That's kind of what her game is. It's like, yeah, you got to chase me now. And then you run into that and then everything just starts for her. That's Jade in a nutshell. Jax, yeah, he's an honest day's work. He's -7, the character, and he's like everything he presses... -7, forward 3-3 or whatever, forward 3-3-1, -7, everything's -7, -7. But I think Jack's players are a bit wonky with him. They need to do more of this. Because he's got command grab, you want to do more stuff like this, and everyone's micro ducking. You got to think in this game, overheads are king. Because people are micro ducking, it's just a natural thing people are doing. So overhead isn't even if you've got a low overhead, the overhead's, it's not a 50-50, mate. It's more than a 50-50 because this is going to be like 100 to 0 because no one's blocking overheads, and when they finally block overhead, then you start throwing them again. So that's pretty decent for him. Obviously, he's got throw loops off of everything, backwards, forwards, command grab. His zoning is actually pretty good as well. It's just people don't really manage his heat too well. This projectile is fast, and then this one gives him more heat. That on hit gives you a heat up. Pretty sure that on block gives you a heat up. You know, there's more you can do with this than people are doing. Right now, at the minute, they're just thinking, I'm Jax, I've got to run in and do this, and I've got to run in and do this, and I've got to run in and do this. Strategize, my brothers. Is a requirement to press down one. Yeah, they're just doing things like this, and they're like, oh. But yeah, his crushing blows are ridiculous as well. That's pretty nasty for him. Like forward throw, fatal blow. Actually, yeah, his fatal blow. That's probably the best thing about it. His fatal blow is like a win button. Think about it. Whatever health you're on and he hits you with a fatal blow, you're guessing for the game, pretty much. Alright, Johnny Cage. He's another honest day's work, honestly. Like this character is an honest day's work. Right, I'll show you why. Because everything he does is high, he's running risk advancing. But if you watch high-level players, I'm sure people like Rewind will do things like this. So he's running a risk by throwing that button out. You also outspace this at the same time. If I can, yeah. So he's running a risk by doing that because he's got like mad whip recovery and it's slow. Down 4. Like this is the character right here. Down 4. So then he gets that. So he's literally just doing down 4s all day. Same thing with his fireball. A lot of characters can duck the fireball and punish him for it. He's never really... He's never himself in a situation where you think, oh, Johnny's got this situation on me. It's like, you do this, right, he's +1, but look how far away he is. If he wants to actually do anything with that +1, he's going to sacrifice more frames than the 1 frame, you know? So, like, people would just backdash after that or whatever, not even bother playing that little game with him. His throws both send you all the way over there for some reason. Like why you're over there, I don't know. Fatal blow. His fatal blow is good for the what was it, like half-life damage. That's pretty redeeming factor. But when you're like redeeming factor is you have to be losing, I don't think that's that great. Oh yeah, also this isn't a real auto shimmy. If you practice against it enough, you can tech the throw and also block the string. But I think that's for a different conversation, because some people get like shimmied by different strings that other people don't, and vice versa. You know, it's weird. This game's weird for that. Johnny is basically highs. That's it. He's highs, so he's got to play down 4. And when you only have down 4 to play on, and they know you just got down 4, it's just like, okay. You have to downform me 500 times. It's not looking good, bruv, but it's still an honest man. He's got enough damage, and I'm sure he's got enough decent matchup. So it's like, you know, it's not too terrible. Alright, Kabal. Cable. He's minimal brain activity. He's minimal brain. I don't even know what I'm thinking about. He's definitely minimal. Here's a quick guide on how to be the best Kabal player on the planet, and you'll look exactly like the best Kabal players on the planet and every other Kabal player on the planet. They're all the best Kabal players on the planet. Yeah, why did that take 2 seconds to think it over? That was really... brain malfunction, wouldn't it? You want to say Kane might be top 5 if you've got the reads all the time, but then that would just be any character. There you go. Oh, wow. I'm a Kabal player. I do jump kick into jump kick. Wow, so smart. Jump kick and it option selects into dash. That is really smart. Don't even have to confirm. Nice. Sick. Love it. That jails for some reason. Yeah, we're giving a jump kick you can't enter. Yeah, it jails into a +2. Yeah. And then because you're sitting there, because it jails, he does. Oh, you thought you were gonna sit there and block the jump kick. Now you're blocking the jump punch, and he's even more plus, and you get gripped or whatever. Love that. And if you get hit, you just get cooked. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah. What was it? Don't even think this is the right combo. Yeah, absolutely smoked for what? I could do. I'm a Kabal main now. That's not optimal, and that's 38%. I can't remember what the actual conversion is. But yeah, this character's P-brain. Just do this, do that. Oh yeah. Even if they've got an anti-air for you, you got this as well to cover you. So you're like, oh, I'm not really jumping in. I'm not really jumping in. I'm just going to jump in and do a fireball or whatever. Wow. I could do a short hop into a half screen jump. Oh yeah, let's not forget that this reaches from like forever. Oh, that is really. It's all P-brain. It's all P-brain. The character plays himself. Got a good mid. -2, so then they'll do things like, oh yeah, 7-frame jab, fastest jab you're going to get in the game. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to do -2, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm going to mash 1-1. Why not? Yep, 7-frame. Everywhere he needs a 7-frame move, he's got a 7-frame move. And he's got all the speeds of mid you want as well. 9, 12, normally 11 will do, but 12 is good because it's -2 on his. And then 15 with a bit of reach. Characters, straight up P-brain. Oh yeah, and his back one, yeah, both of his mids have crush and blows attached. To be fair, forward 2-2-4 is like almost never worth doing. I think it's actually never worth doing. They can't, because he gets more damage because of his hook swords. He's got one of the best armor breakers in the game, of course. So yeah, Kabal, Jabal. Now, Jabal, if you're playing him without the leap, then he's an honest day's work. If you're playing with the leap, then he's just minimal brain activity. I would say that Kane is actually minimal brain activity, but he's not. This character depends entirely on the matchup. So, like, I'll show you what I mean. You think Kane is S? The problem is it's the matchup chart, though. Like, so if you do... This one string here defines the matchup. Alright. So, as you see, this string is +2, which means he gets down 1, and he also has command grab, right? The mid, that one is 13 frames. And the command grab is also 13 frames. So that means you can't actually do anything like option select him, you just got to straight up guess when he's in your face. But some characters, like himself, duck the spit. So if he can't actually get that +2 scenario, and he can't confirm into any damage safely as well, without using highs. So he has no mid. And the characters that he can duck, or that can duck him, are Nightwolf, Joker, Johnny, Jacqui, himself, Kitana, Geras for some reason, and Fujin, like, sort of. So that's a fair bunch for the cast that, like, don't really care about his best thing. And then on top of that, you got characters that, even though they don't duck his spit, Rambo kind of messes him up. Terminator's got to get in there anyway, so it's kind of in his favor for that, in that regard. Robocop will just zone him out because Kane moves like a slug along the floor. He's not the most nimble of boys. So I don't know that Kabal's pretty good for him as well. Like, Kabal's kind of annoying because his anti-air is not great. Yeah, so he's filth when he's filth because he's making you guess on that command grab game. Actually, another redeeming thing about Kane is he has this move here. Even though it's 25 frames, you can see it. Safe overhead. Safe overhead in this game, sweet. It's like a Nightwolf overhead, pretty much. But if it hits, you get to continue your turn. If it's blocked, well, you're not in that much trouble. Oh yeah, and of course in the corner, like you're saying, innit, he's got mad restands into acid, into sit there and burn. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like that's nasty in the corner. He's a brute when you're in the corner. I don't think you can duck the spit in the corner as well. So like if he's got you there, everyone's having a bad time, mate. Who's next? Kitana. Kitana I'm putting up in the same tier as these lot. Kitana, people think she's respectable or low tier, but I think she's actually filth. There's too much she's doing or not doing that. She's too good. She's too good. She doesn't lose really to anyone like that. You always give your friends a hard time when they say Kitana's awful. Right, look. So she can cover pretty much all the angles with her projectiles. She's got straight fan. This is like one of the best anti-air projectiles in the game because it's like such a massive hitbox. And on hit, it's plus 61, alright? Or it's normally like plus 60 something. Or plus 60 something, whatever. Which gives you that, right? So that means her Oki is basically is foolproof. She has foolproof Oki. So you do like whatever. You just do this. Because you're plus whatever, plus 10 million, you throw the Sire. The Sire is like a Kung Lao Z hat, but better because you just throw it. Don't have to spend anything on it. And you're still plus 20. So you just do that, run up behind it, plus 23 in their face, right? And then when she's in your face, she takes turns, but doesn't give you anything in return, right? So if she's doing that, see the space right? You can't really do that much. So she's still in a space where she can sort of be annoying with that or make you have to move forward to actually catch her, in which case her -5 means nothing. Or you have to have a normal that reaches that far, which is probably minus, which will give her a turn back. She hasn't got a good down 3 for like poking up close, but really as soon as the other guy is -4, you just do that. Like if you check this down 4 out, -9, but it's got decent pushback on it as well. So same thing as this, like people are sacrificing something to normally hit you back. This normal, like this string here, Kitana players doing, there's not really much reason to do that other than if you land down 4 and hit, because obviously if they jump out, you get cooked. That's not a good look. She does insane amount of damage in round 3. She's like Liu Kang. If you hit 3 of these in a game, you basically got 50% loaded at any point. Right, yeah, you can't catch her. That's probably another thing about it. You can't actually catch this character, right? As soon as someone's near you, you know how I was saying, like, oh yeah, she's not giving up her turn, right, by doing that. If they're respecting you even doing that for even just a frame and you're in the air, you're out of there. And that you just keep doing that. You can't ever corner her. A lot of characters just can't corner her because she's just doing that all over the screen. Then throwing fans, getting you to like work your way back in, and as soon as you're near her, back in again. Oh yeah, and her jump kick is stupid as well. I'm sure if actually let's have a look. Yeah, but you can do things like that, so you can't anti-air it. It's like MK9 Kung Lao. You can't anti-air it. And on whiff it still works, so like what you need to stop her from evading you. You need to punish immediately on some of these things, but then if she doesn't do that, she gets more space for you not blocking the kick. Hard to catch, zones you out. Oh yeah, teleport gives her that. Also gives her this. I mean, the science stance gives her a teleport, right? It's the easiest thing to react to projectiles within the game because it's one button. You just press 3 when you're in the stance. Hello there, Tyree. Yeah, one button reacts to anything, and then they're sitting there and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna teleport." And you just throw that instead. Or if they've got like a scorpion teleport, you have to bait them into doing their teleport. You block it. This is a pretty versatile stance. It's really good. Like if you didn't have this and this, then all of this and this wouldn't be as effective because this only does 6%. So she's not actually zoning you out with fans. She's zoning you out because you can't really do damage back to her, but she's still chipping away at you. You're on her screen until you're dead, and as long as she doesn't make a mistake, she wins. Kollector. I'm not entirely sure about Kollector, you know. I think realistically I'd put him in an honest day's work. Or it's not looking good, bruv, but probably honest day's work. It's just that I don't play the variations that would make him an honest day's work. I play the variations where it's like, it's not looking good, bruv. But when he can actually contest with the projectiles, stuff like that, he's pretty decent, I'd say. He's mostly held back by his variations, being two slot launcher and all that. 2 slot on the armor break. If you could have armor break, teleport, and then like command grab or something, or armor break, command grab, and then something else, he'd be pretty nasty, I think. It's like Nightwolf. Kotal, that's obvious. Minimal brain activity. You do forward 2, or you do command grab, and then you do 1-2s and look like you're doing pressure, but really you're just making them guess on the mid command grab every 2 seconds. Chronica, why bother? What are you even doing here? Kung Lao. I think with him, it's an honest day's work. It's not so like brutal as playing like one of these, but he doesn't. I don't think he actually wins a matchup. I think he like either 5-5s or loses against everybody. I think Jacqui beats him. I think Kabal beats him. Kotal beats him. Cetrion beats him. Geras probably beats him. I think Geras, Jack, Sub-Zero. Actually, Sub-Zero might be alright for him. Anyone that he can rinse a 2-1 string on. I'm downplaying Lao. Definitely not downplaying Lao. There's a whole video on why he's bad. But I'm trying to show you where he's good. Against Sub, this string normally this string normally is duckable here. Like you can duck that hat. But unless you're Sub, Robo, Jax, Geras, or Lao himself, this string works on them characters specifically, so he's +1 here constantly. So it's 3% chip into +1. Is he going to down 3? If you think they're going to sit there and block the down 3, boom, just do the string again. Yeah, that's pretty much where his strength lies in some of these matches. Hat tricks has still got some shit actually. +20 grab. +20. This isn't a real water shimmy, so it's kind of bad.
I'm ballsy.
The fact that he doesn't get doesn't actually get this anymore. I used to be able to get that after the grab. That was good for him, but now it's gone. So he gets no Oki on either throw. This for some reason cooks people though.
I smoke my stogie anywhere
People
I want.
will just think you're
I
gonna
don't
grab
have to
them.
find a hideout place like you.
It's a treat. But then the downside to that is, say they don't, and then you have to grab them again. Now you got no defensive bar to break, so you're basically giving them a KB, down 2 KB. And he's just not good in like too many matchups as well. Not worth the hassle of being like at a hard day's work when you just pick. Who did I pick? I picked Shang Tsung when he came out, and it was just better. Alright, Liu Kang, I'm putting him here. People think he's minimal brain activity. I don't. I think he's kind of awkward. He's got no range. He's got no plus frames really, but he's got some he's got decent throws. He's the double trades, master of none. That's it. So there's nothing too spectacular to report about him. He does 1-2, he's minus in your face. He does forward 4, he's minus in your face. He does the back 1 string, he's minus in your face. Liu players are just legit, mate. You have to hold that. Nightwolf, honest day's work. This is like as honest as you're getting in the game, I think. He is an honest man's character. He's got a poke, and he's got a throw, and he's got some movement. and barely passable anti-air. Like, he's a true Matokan tribesman for the people. Noob Cybot, it's not looking good, bruv. Like, it's just not looking good. What do you mean lies? Nah, I ain't taking that. You know about Liu Kang? Liu Kang, honest man's character. Wait, not an honest man's character. Not top tier though. What is that Kabal placement? I haven't done the whole thing yet, have I? Wait, he's in minimal brain activity. This ain't in order. That's alright, okay. Since you guys don't know how Liu Kang works, let me educate you how Liu Kang works. Let's see, who can I do this with? Let's take Nightwolf. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. -2. -2? Is that his turn? Or he's got a 7 frame down one? Don't matter. Everyone else has got a 7 frame down one. -2 ain't his turn. Oh look, -6. That ain't his turn. -4. That ain't his turn either. Oh. -6. Still not his turn. And you lot are letting him do that all day? That's on you. Oh wait. Let's see.
Sensational.
Forward 4, 3. -7. That ain't his turn, mate. Forward 4. Oh look, -7. Still not his turn. Can you believe that? The thing here, but he staggers all these strings. Yeah, but you only need to know where he's minus, and that's everywhere. Noob Cybot. No movement. Everything he's doing is a high. He's got 1 mid that's mad unsafe on block, like half the cast punishes. If he zones you out, you're probably one of the worst characters in the game already, except for maybe Jacqui. And if he ain't zoning you out, he's chasing you. And in which case, it's not looking good, bruv, because you've got no movement. That's pretty much it. Back 1, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Back 1 is not a good mid. Back 1's a pretty bad mid, like, you can't confirm it, and if you do the extension, it's unsafe. And then Raiden, isn't it? Yeah, Raiden, alright. It's not looking good, bruv. And I know people are going to say, oh, you can teleport and play really lame. Alright, what do you do? You can teleport and play really lame. Alright, okay, you ready? So you're like, oh, he's really good against zoners because he can teleport, or you can teleport and play really lame. But against characters with like any sort of projectile presence, better than his projectile presence, it's kind of long. Alright, so you do... Literally, this is all a game of rhythm, right? So against Raiden, you're mainly... You don't actually have to throw that many things at him. You just got to make the things that you do throw at him count. Because if you just walk away from his teleport, he can't really do anything. It's just if you can't... It's a game of a gamble. Like, the teleport is a gamble as much for him as it is for you. Just think about your rhythm. That's it. Just don't get caught like doing... yeah, don't get caught like that. It's like, you know how boxers talk about break your rhythm. Like, don't have an obvious pattern in your rhythm, and then you're going to land more hits and get hit less. Same thing with this. It's just that if you don't sit there and like get discombobulated and all that, like they'll do things like this, and they'll do things like this. People will be swinging, and then you get clipped by that. That happens to me a bit. But really, anytime you teleport, so you just create the same space that you lost. What really happened? Nothing really happened. And then, of course, he's got the issue of... This is like the Kane thing again. You know how Kane's like half the characters mess him up for his best string. Raiden's got that issue, but in a different sort of way. So like that is -8. If you got a 7 frame jab, you punish him. That means he's going to be starting doing that, which means you get down 2, crush and blowed. Or underwave players will do that, which means getting down 2, crush and blowed. So his best string is always a gamble if they've got a 7 frame punisher. So like Geras is kind of nightmarish for him because he can't run away and he can't do that. So then he's left doing this kind of thing all day, and that ain't good. Robo can play shooting game. Yeah, even Robo like will zone Raiden out just by what I've shown with the Kitana thing. You just break your rhythm, walk away from the teleport. Pretty much all you got to do. Just don't let yourself get too predictable, and you'll be alright. Especially because he like low profiles.
10 times or something. Well. Don't you ever do.
Alright, Scopan. This man's honest day's work for his family and clan. Back 1-4 also. Yeah, he's got back 1-4, but that is, it's like the forward 3-2 string. Yeah, what are you going to do with it? You can't actually do it. Oh yeah, Scorpion, really basic character. Back 3, grab. Stand up. Grab. This loops. When they don't want to get thrown forward anymore, you throw them backwards. It loads of crush and blow. When they don't want to get thrown at all, you do the overhead. And when they're blocking the overhead, if you're playing Syrian Rage, you do this, right? +2. That's +7. But that's got a big gap that's interruptible in it. But this... Alright, alright. This covers the gap in this. So what you got here is a 50-50 on if you're going to be plus. And this is a completely safe side of it, which is -3. So there's still like ugly little mind games on his down 1 here, and flawless blocks and whatnot. That's also plus. So he's got a lot of ways to set up throws and land advantage. Like that gives him the same thing, gives him everything I was just saying. He's got a decent whiff punisher. This gives up his turn though, which is kind of eh. Like that is, you have given up your turn kind of move. You'll see Scorpions in rank doing this. That's not really what you're meant to be doing. And some matchups you can do this actually. Some characters can't punish that from this kind of distance. In which case, rinse it. As long as you've got good spacing, you can just rinse that move. But yeah, Scorpion, honest day's work, innit? You do back threes, you do throws, you end up eating down 2 crushing blows, mate. That's the game. Yeah, Terminator ain't punishing that. I know he is. He is actually. I think he does dash up back too. Obviously me, Mileena. It's obviously me, right? Alright, what's the next? Shang Tsung. I used to think he was like, not minimal brain activity, because you did actually have to be good to play him. I don't know if he's an honest day's work now, you know? I think he might be an honest day's work at this point. But he used to be so oppressive in everything, except against Geras and Sub. Like, he could fight everybody. Oh, and Jacqui, he could sort of fight as well. But he ain't doing damage. I don't know, there's just not really much to say for Shang. He's sort of got a good strike throw game, but it's nothing spectacular with him anymore. Which is a shame. They nerfed his damage. Like, if they kept his damage and then gave him customs and he got a damage buff on top of that, he'd probably be really, really sick. He exists, yeah. Like, Liu kind of messes him up. Geras definitely messes him up. Jacqui ain't that pleasant. Kotal's alright. Cetrion's even. Everyone else messes him up. Robo kind of messes him up. I could see Rambo messing him up, actually. But he's decent against, like, Sindel, Jade. He's good against the Denians. I think that's why I like him. He's good against the Denians. Alright, actually, wait, what's the next character? Shao Kahn. I used to think he was like, why bother? And then it's not looking good, bruv. But I think he might be like an honest day's work and all, you know. Down 4, like, this is how you play Shao Kahn. Over time, he seems to be like a bit more, make a bit more sense. Down 4, boom, that gives you that. Or if you're close enough, it'll give you that into some decent damage, right? What's he got here? Has he got? So yeah, it's pretty much down 4 the character. He's got he has some mid-hammer projectiles decent as well that I was using. Got plus frames everywhere. Down 4, this move on block. Don't keep him very close. So it kind of puts him back in down 4 range, and a lot of characters can't actually counter poke that. So you get to harass people with this. Just go, I'm going to down 4 you, and it's fast as well. Shao damage is insane. His damage is alright. It'll do. Like, if you're playing him safe, you're mostly gonna just be getting this, right? Something like this. Something along those lines.
I smoke my stogie anywhere I want.
So
I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
Forward, you keep your advantage on block. And throws. You can actually leap over projectiles for mad damage as well. But like in a well, it's a lot for no bar.
I don't take no shit from anyone.
Yeah, that's a lot for no real resource until you've landed the hit as well. And Shao Kahn players like to be, oh, I'm gonna spend all my bar. You can do that. Back 3-4. You mean forward 3-4? This would be nice if they got rid of the gap. If I was to like, actually, I got a good idea. I'll save that. Yeah, but I'd basically make that have no gap. Then Shao would be like a monster everywhere. But yeah, he's not too bad. It's not too bad. And he's got this move, you know. Like, I like to rate having brutalities. You got a brutality every time, and you've unlocked that brutality. You get brutality every game, mate. That's very important. All right. He'd be a top geezer without that gap, yeah. Skarlet, why bother, honestly? I think we're still playing, like, collectively we're playing bad against her as well. Really, we should be flawless blocking this. And, like, characters with moves like that, you can get pretty big punish on her from, like, you got Liu Kang, Jacqui's, subs and all that kind of, those kind of moves. I think Geras might even be able to sand trap that. Yeah, see, it's -16. I'm pretty sure Geras gets a sand trap on that. Does he? Or is it 17? I can't remember. But yeah, some of these characters are cooking her from half screen for doing the thing that she has to do, and then she got this. I don't know why this has a gap like this. Doesn't make any sense. That's. I think they were like, yeah, okay, we'll put a gap in it so you can equip a parry and use that to cover the flawless block in the gap. But then characters like Kane just don't even have to think about it. His up two is so fast, you can't even get a parry out. Which then means she's got to do things like, oh, I'll come in with highs. Oh, look, if you're bold enough, you might even just get ducked. And this is the problem when your character's running on highs. Like, you always run this kind of risk. It don't look good, bruv. It's not a good look, bruv. Can't really think of much redeeming about her. Zoning ain't exactly that oppressive. She'll catch you for making a few mistakes, but it's not the end of the world. And everything's got gaps, isn't it? Like, why is this got a gap? Why is this got a gap? Like, just don't understand. This would be. Imagine if that was mid or something. She basically just, she's lacking a good mid. If she had a good mid with no gap, she'd be laughing. Like, say if she could do this into something, like into some sort of launch, she'd be having a good, she'd be alright. But I don't really rate her otherwise. So yeah, why bother? Oh yeah, also mate, why bother with Sonya Blade? What is this? Everyone's like, oh yeah, Sonya's got mix-ups. Sonya's got mix-ups, mate. Sonya's got mix-ups. Sonya's got real good mix-ups that you can... Got really good mix-ups, mate. Sonya's got mix-ups. See this. She's got no health. Everything she's doing is a high. And this is what she does. This is what she gets. Like, she knows you're mashing down forward. This is what she gets. Wow, 10%. That is disgusting. Wow, 16%. If Jacqui Briggs knows that you're mashing a mid, you might lose the round. Yeah, you're saying she's got no health? That's pretty shocking as well. Why has she got no health? Even if she did so happen to get her strings blocked, like she had the luxury of getting blocked, which is a luxury for Sonya, actually having to block anything of yours blocked. Can't confirm that into anything without taking a massive risk. This is actually unsafe. It's like, yeah, well, it's -9, so it's unsafe. They'll do things like that. Also, flawless blockable, unsafe, you know, it's all that, or they might just do that point blank, unsafe. Yeah, she is not, like, down 3's alright. Down 3's kind of decent, I'll give her that. A pro game, without having a mid to complement it, is not that great. I think she does have going for her though, is like down 3's and wavy. Her zoning game is like, if you actually know how to play against Sonya, her zoning game is non-existent. It's but there you go. What is she gonna do? That's how you defend against Sonya's zoning. Duck all the highs, flawless block all the mids. They just don't exist. Her zoning's like Baraka's but with a KB. Difference with Baraka's though is Baraka has back 2, so like say you're in this range and Baraka's doing the maybe even from like here with Baraka. Say you're here doing this, what's Sonya gonna do to complement that? Spend the bar or call that, which is also not that good. But Baraka can back 2 from like this distance and it's an overhead, so it can kind of deter you from sitting there just ducking. But it's not it. That's not the player. Yeah, this character's a bit of a struggle. One thing that I do think is pretty cool about her though, if you can somehow get someone to block this, what is it? Like that. These things are all. Once you get the drone out. Right, once you get the drone out, you can start doing things with it. You can start doing like this, which is that's pretty plus on hit and block. It's actually so plus on hit that you get a combo. See how that combos, right? Drone doesn't ever work. No, the drone works. The drone does work. It's just it's not there for long enough, I don't think. And you need to figure out how to loot the scenario. I think that there's still something to do with this. I just don't think people have completely worked it out yet. And then, oh, okay, right, yeah. But basically, Sonya is highs and no health. There you go. That's pretty much her in a nutshell. Sub-Zero, minimal brain activity. There's no way this character's. I haven't ordered it, but I think he's the second best in the game. Yeah, Sub-Zero's just. This move is. Since this game is all about micro ducks, and the only true way to destroy someone for micro ducking is an overhead, Sub-Zero is the king of it. Because he's doing damage. Most characters ain't even doing that much off of their overhead, but. Or off of whatever their threat to micro duck is. They're doing things like short hopping, which is reactable and bad anyway. But this is some serious deterrent. It's not a 50-50, mate. It's guaranteed at this point. Slide, one of the best punishers in the game for so many things. 2-1, decent punish. He's got 2 good punishes actually, 1-2 and 2-1. 1-2 is a good string because, you know, it puts him in his back 3 range perfectly. If they press a poke or something there and he does back 3, easy whiff punish. On hit, dash up back 3, you can't do anything about that, which then also means dash up forward 2, you can't do anything about that. Throws, they loop. This character, I'm so certain this character is what they designed this game on. Like, this character has everything but a command grab. And if you play him properly, his neutral game is ridiculous as well. This has got to be the best projectile in the game. If his trades are anything, you can just take chunks. What other projectile is doing quarter of life for 1 bar, really? Every time it works. And then, of course, you've got meter burn ice ball, but you don't even need that. You can play other variations. Or just regular ice ball anyway. Yeah. So this character's P-Brain. The axe is really good as well. The axe, the wall, everything he's got. Plus on these projectiles. 0 there. If you're sick enough, you can make it plus. Like, his damage is just off the charts, mental. He's round 3, round 2 god. He's going to load the crush and blow. You can't even stop him because, like, you ain't going to have enough defensive bar to not get... just not let him load that crush and blow. And that's all. That's the only resource he has to look out for in the game is building crush and blow slide. Have I done Kane already? Yeah, I've done Kane already. You can't even block the overhead. Ask Hayate. Exactly. Hayate got hit by 24 of these. It's not. It's 24 of them. It's not. You ain't blocking that. Terminator. I think Terminator might be in here. You know. He's not like Jacqui, but he is kind of like sub. But I don't know. I think he could either be here or here. He's so stupid. Like, I think with Terminator, he's probably here right now, but I think in time he could end up here. I'll show you why. You think he's the worst version of Sub? He's a bit different. Like, Sub still has to play neutral. Terminator just does this, and then
I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
You can't punish him for teleporting. That's the first thing, right? You can't actually punish him for teleporting because he can just cancel straight into block. So then, let's say you're sitting there like, oh, I'm just gonna start swinging. Like most people would do, a lot of people would do like things like start swinging and like, oh, I'm gonna try and hit him out of it. Okay, now you made him block your poke point blank, and he's got a turn, and whenever he gets a turn, you're playing rock paper scissors. But if he's basically got a 66% chance while you've got 33. So. Like you're ducking, you're going to eat the overhead, and if you're ducking and blocking, you're going to eat the command grab and the overhead. Well, you could also get hit low if you're ducking and blocking as well, because there's just layers on everything he's doing. And all like this, like you could know you're blocking low and still do that. Layers, isn't it? Yeah, like I was saying earlier, micro duck in this game being so strong, Terminator's got one of the biggest threats against that in the game. Overhead. So he's legit at dealing with the option selects in this game, because this game is option select fighter right now. So he's doing overheads, he's doing lows. Every time he's right, he does damage with it as well. So pretty much he is a character that is a blender that doesn't ever have to play neutral because he can just sit there and do that. And if he comes out and teleport, what if he don't cancel into block? He can just cancel into jump. If the jump is blocked, if the jump's blocked, then guess, you know. If anything, if he blocks your poke, that's an 11 frame command grab. If you press something after it, you're getting command grabbed. If he command grabs you, he's here. Now you guess, overhead, low, whatever. All of his combos end in command grab. His command grab is armor break, so you can't really fatal blow that as well. His biggest struggle is probably the fact that like he relies a lot on down 4 if he ain't teleporting all over the place. But you can't guess forever against this kind of character. It's just not happening. So I've used the restand. You're on about this. I don't use this because I'd rather get damage for doing this, you know. I'd rather just take this knockdown than the restand. Unless they're like in the corner and it's a little chunk of damage will finish them. But yeah, Terminator, almost minimal brain activity. Almost. What else has he got good for him? He's got, he's privileged. He's got an anti-air, like a really good anti-air actually. You're not always going to be able to get that, depending on the range, but you can pretty much always get that. So he's got a reliable anti-air. That's gold dust in this game. So yeah, Terminator. Oh yeah, and of course, forward 2 fatal blow, mate. Hooligan, straight hooligan. There's also layers on this as well. I don't know the rule, but if he can make you block the mid grenade as safe, seems a bit random. But then if you're blocking that, you can just do that. He's got strike throw on both of his overhead and low, right? So you block that, you try and interrupt the overhead, you get thrown. You block that and you try and block the grenade, you get thrown. You try and avoid the throw, you get blown up. You try and avoid the command grab here, you get hit by the overhead and launched. You see what I mean? There's a lot going on. He's got so many layers. And then on top of that, he's also got a 10 frame mid. So even if you're ballsy enough to be close to him, mashing to like try and stop the 50-50, there's another layer of 50-50. Command grab or 10 frame mid. And it's hard to outrun the command grab.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie.
I mean, this character is minimal brain activity. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think she's like up there. Like, she's definitely not an honest day's work. There's not really much to say about Sindel. She runs away, screams the low fireball, randomly screams at you, gets a crushing blow out of it, and if you get hit by that, you probably lose the round. Can't really throw anything back at her because she low profiles everything. A forward 4 means that you never get a turn on her. She does have an overhead, but it is reactable, but it's probably still going to get hit by it. Yeah, she's P-brain, but she is minimal brain activity, but she's not as good as like Jacqui and Sub, I don't think. Unblockable overhead online, yeah. Jump kick's really stupid. Joker, I think Joker's a respectable character, you know. He's not these. Yeah, he ain't these, but 950 health. Gets zoned out. I think they're like his two problems. He's got god tier normals, good comeback potential, good damage. I think you just need the right kind of player to play him as well. If you're patient and you play Joker, you're probably a threat. And I think a lot of the best Joker players are like that. Spawn, I think he's probably an honest day's work. He's not like... I don't like playing Spawn, but that's because I think he gets cooked by characters like... I imagine Cassie's annoying for him. Nightwolf is annoying for him. Scorpion's probably annoying for him. Shang's probably annoying for him. Shao's probably annoying. Anyone with a good down 4 is probably Kitana, Kane, Jade's probably annoying. Sub definitely messes him up. The problem with Spawn is, right, I'll show you. I'll just show you. I'm a Spawn main, by the way. Right. Spawn's thing is... It's got all this range. Alright, watch. A lot of characters get underneath, you know how they're... Alright, Like, Spawns will try and do things. Oh, I have to do it myself. Right. But from a certain range, I think this won't work. Or against certain characters, they can duck that. I don't think Sub can. But you can duck the other one. Do a slide. Yeah, right. So you see there how Sub gets a slide? That's because he goes under the fireball, but I'm pretty sure that you can duck that first fireball, which means like... Basically, smaller characters get underneath this and punish them. Or characters move like that. I don't like that for him. I think it's kind of awkward, because then he's got to play around his pokes, and his pokes are kind of eh. Stop sliding, mate. Like, it's down 4, it's not got the range on it like that, you know. He's got the BBC range on all these standing normals that lead to something unsafe, and then on his safe pokes he got like Weenie Hut Jr. What's that about? Projectile's not that great as well. Alright, it's sort of like Sonya. It starts up fast. Has a mid extension, but yeah, he's basically high. His only real presence is high. Don't get forward throw KB. Yeah, that's his thing. His thing is damage. So if you do happen to get hit, you eat a lot. Like, he ain't messing around damage-wise on a lot of these conversions. And this isn't even me. I'm not even mine after all. That's decent for an anti-air in this game, 30%. Plasma pool is decent building that bar. Yeah, you could do that, but then that's not giving you the it's not giving you the mid option you want. I guess you can take the he does have this move, which is a low. Problem with that is if you whiff that, you basically got to spend the bar or perish. That's pretty much how it goes. More down one problems. This is pretty much what you do against them all day. Force him into doing something you don't want to do. Because his down 4 won't reach you, his mids won't reach. Don't even think he can actually... He has to do something like backdash forward 2 or something to stop that. Yeah, this has got to be pain, like the matchup. Yeah, Spawn, honest day's work, man. You have to put in some work to beat him. I mean, beat people with him, I think. Fujin, I don't think he's the best. I think Sub-Zero is better than him. He's better than Kabal, though, for sure. Yeah, I guess that works. Right, Fujin, obviously, he runs away. I've got a video on, like, how to stop him. So, like, instead of going over the whole thing, the theory, like, basically in a nutshell, the theory of Fujin is to kill you, he has to do mids, throws, and that's it. He can't zone you out, mostly, if you're playing a character with a decent projectile or whatever. So then he's going to have to throw you. So the game plan becomes force him to throw you and punish his throws. And it's an ugly game plan, really, because then it's just like, who's going to flip the coin correctly? But you've only got to flip the coin correctly 3 times, while he's got to do it 8 times. But at the same time, how many opportunities? He's going to get a lot more opportunities to do things than you. Because he's all over the place. Yeah, I can see him. He's just going to be trouble for a lot of these characters, isn't it? Like, Geras, smoked. Jade probably gets smoked. Kane might be not that bad. Fever, absolutely annihilated. Kung Lao probably gets smoked. It's a matter of, can you catch him? If you can't catch him, it's not looking good. Alright. The Queen. Alright, let's see. Who would I pick? I think I could pick Sheeva against Jacqui. I could pick Sheeva against Sub. Probably not against Kabal. But I could pick Sheeva against Kotal. Not against I could pick her against him. Not against her. I'd pick Sheeva against Kane. Don't mind that. Don't mind Sheeva that much against Kitana. Fine against Liu Kang. She's fine against Terminator. Gets absolutely smoked by these two. Actually, not so much the Joker. Gets smoked by Cassie. Decent against all of these, except for Nightwolf. And Shang, I think. I think realistically, bear in mind, like, there ain't any other Sheeva players out there, so you tell me about Sheeva all you want, you don't play her. But she's got the nastiest like blender left in the game, other than Terminator and what's it? Terminator, wherever I put the Terminator, yeah, and Sub-Zero. Only problem she's got really is that she's got no health. She's still decent. Like, people say, oh, but Sheeva's got no range, but she's got a sweep that is like a serious sweep. It's one of the ones that's like you get hit by. What's another move like that in this game? Like, you get hit by something and now it's like, okay, now it's not looking good for me. It's like a Terminator down 4 sort of thing, you know. It's like you get hit by down 4, now it's time to guess. Yeah, she's got good movement, she's got good zoning, she's got good anti-air, she's got good mid, she's got overhead low, where one of the options is safe. She's got She's got pretty much everything you want in a character, except for 1,000 health, and they nerfed their Dragon Stance, which was completely unnecessary. But I believe in the Queen. I believe in the Queen against like most of the cast. Sometimes some characters are still like even when she don't have range, she's still normally the superior like in the Fireball game, so even then it don't really matter that much. So yeah, she's got a good blender. She doesn't ever have to get herself down to KB. That's a big thing in this game. If you're playing a character that never has to get down to KB, like Kotal, Sheeva, Robo, they're like naturally winning. Sub-Zero, which then brings me on to Robo. I think he's fourth. Like, stupid. Actually, I'll rephrase that right. Robocop he has stupid things about him, and he's also like a very basic, like he's really basic the way he plays. Obviously he's got the low gun, low profile, people's projectiles, has a crush and blow attached to it, blah blah blah. Mid command grab. This is why he never has to get down to KB. And he never has to worry about breakaway, right? So there's game mechanics he doesn't care about. He doesn't care about down 2 crush and blow. He doesn't care about breakaway. But all of his damage comes from things like this. Like this is a guaranteed throw. So you get your 16% and then you get a guess on the next 13%. They can't duck that throw. So he's never got to worry about getting down 2 KB. And if they escape failed, now this becomes a situation where you're guessing for 50% instead of 30%. So that's big damage potential. Spikes stop people dashing about. There's not much in the game that's like this, and this forces people to want to jump. But Robocop is gifted with like probably the best anti-air in the game. 10 frame and it's a projectile, so like even if you mess it up, you can't really mess this up. The only time that this won't work for you is if you're against like a Jade or something. It's the closest thing to a foolproof anti-air I can think of. And you don't even need bar to get damage off of it some of the time. But if you're not certain, you could just spend the bar anyway. He's got everything on the hit on the command grab. If you get into a command grab, you can send them wherever you want to send them. Send them that way, send them this way. Yeah, put the spikes out. He's Guile. That's what he is. He's Guile. He's Street Fighter Guile. He does the projectile, he does the anti-air. And then his offense, it ain't like Jacqui Briggs, like I'm pressing all these buttons, but you better guess correctly. And if you don't, you're back over here eating all this again. Which is long for you. And he's got 1,100 health for some reason. Like, this character would 100% be nerfed right now if they kept updating the game. 100%. There is no doubt in my mind that this would be gone. 100%. There is no chance. If I can actually do it or not. Whatever, you know what I'm on about. Yeah, that. Nothing else in the game like that exists. Yeah, you're nicked. Alright. Who's left? Rain. I think Rain's kind of a why bother. Like, in short, he's got no range, no damage. The variation system doesn't make sense for him. Like, why is the Lightning Cloud 2 slots? If he could have Lightning Cloud and it was a meterless launch, Water Ball, which was a mid as well, and the projectile absorb, then he'd be like, alright, we're working with something here. Or even if the Water Ball was like a high and the lightning just started faster and still launched, that'd be good. Yeah, Rain, there's not really too much to say for him, but I see at the minute. Could change, but at the minute I don't see it. Mileena. She's either here or here, I think. Is it an honest day's work, or you actually kind of feel... Like, who would I not mind playing her against? Don't mind her against Fujin. Sucks against Robo. She's really good against Kabal. She's decent against Kotal. It's not great against Cetrion. These are all kind of whatever. Yeah, it's all kind of whatever. Like, against him, they're both just guessing on each other. That's kind of rough. That's not that bad. That's pretty good for her. That's not that bad. Yeah, all of these characters she's kind of fine against. I think she's like... Actually, I'm going to just stick her here. And the reason... Alright. Kotal that bad? What? I've got Kotal right at the top. Let's see. Right, yeah. This is 10 frames. This is 10 frames. You can't deal with both at the same time, so you're guessing. People say, oh yeah, you can break away, but it doesn't matter. You ain't gonna keep... You gotta keep guessing after that break. So yeah. She's getting 30%. You can't catch her. She's another one, like, most characters ain't catching this. How are you meant to catch her? She's moving faster than anyone going backwards. And then if she's got low side, she's also putting chip damage on you while running away. And her screen control then becomes like, okay, I'm running away, and then you come up into her space. If you're blocking at all, she gets a command grab, which then means she gets to put her back on the other side, start running the other way. And then you're getting smart. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to duck the command grab overhead. Still gives her space. Still gives her all this. Like, she's very hit and runny. Like, yeah, she's a proper hit and run character, but if she wants to, she can start putting you in a blender. And she's also blessed with like some of the best anti-airs in the game. That's up there. The ball itself. This is up there. That's a good anti-air. But if you're playing against Kabal, this is the move. You could probably win a match with just ball roll because they're going to keep jumping. I'm not buying into the Mileena is bad thing. I'm saying, oh, she's stubby normals. So down one is not a stubby down one. Forward one's got range. And then other than that, back two's got range. And then every other space that you can't cover with like a down three. Yeah, I agree, a down three ain't all that. But you do have projectiles and your own anti-airs. And she's also got, you know how Liu, Sub, Kitana have that round 3 effect? She's got that as well. If you do this, that's like, you've almost built a crush and blow on her throw, because it's don't jump for 10 seconds, right? You've built like, I think just over half of her crush and blow, so you get one more interaction, and then you got a crush and blow throw. So if you hit them there, you get a crush and blow, boom, and then if you throw them there, I think if you throw them like twice or something, you get crush and blow. So she can basically free touch you, all with well, with 2 crush and blows. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. She's annoying. I think she's annoying like Mileena should be. It's like a little rat, you can't catch her. And damn, bro, I'm putting in the same tier, mate. It's another one of them ones that, oh, Rambo's bad. Why? Why is Rambo bad? Leopard crawl? Nah, you don't take leopard crawl. You take the snare trap and the command grab, right? Right, so first things first. This thing goes under all the high projectiles. And it gives him a knockdown. And it does decent damage as well for a projectile. Leopard crawl is a mix on every single button and string. Yeah, but that's your risk, not theirs. This is what you do. Right, yeah, that's what they're saying there. 7% knockdown, boom. Arrow. You can use the arrow to set up the trap. Alright, okay, that's all well and good. It's got God movement, so you're always able to back up, do the trap to lure them into your, you know, with Rambo, it's all the trap, mate. Like, so you're luring them into your normals, right? Which then all put you back where you wanted to be in the first place. Overhead, right? You know, I've been saying overheads are gold in this game. This overhead's just going to cook people. And if you hit 2 of them, it's crush and blow. So you can He's got round 3 effects as well, like Mileena sub and all that. It's down 4, 11 frames. This has got no business reaching this far and being that plus. Look. Plus 21, mate. 21 on there. And he's got decent mids and all. Right. This is where, like, the worst situations you're going to put yourself in as Rambo, right? You're going to do back 2-2, and you do back 3-3. That's on block. They're the worst situations you'll ever put yourself in if you're playing in, like, safe. But they're not that bad. Like, okay, you're -6, -7. But if you land a hit, you're doing 35. And that's also tied in with the fact you got Oki on command grab. So you could theoretically just, if somebody is just sitting there shelling up, you can loop them. This plays just like Mileena. You know how I was doing that with Mileena, like you run away, do low side. This is better than that because you've got low and high. See, it's like, it's actually Mileena, but better. You do low and high, and then they run up.
If anybody gets in my face, I'm knocking them out. I mean what I say.
You know, they come in, oh yeah, like I said with Mileena, they're going to duck your command grab overhead, right? Nah, we ain't having that. But he's also got better pokes, so it's kind of nasty. The thing that he struggles with is anti-airs, and his jab punish is just bad. Like, he ain't really got a jab punish, you can do that, but that's about it. Yeah. And then in round 3 or 2 or whatever, you just don't jump in your combos and you build the crush and blow. Sit there, look. You can do the sub-zero thing, wait a little bit, build that timer up, get yourself throw, crush and blow or whatever. And if they get wrong on that throw, that's 40%. If they wanna break it, you arm break it, that's 50%. And yeah, character's just, he's really basic as well. But if you play him stubborn and basic, he works. But yeah, that's the tier list, isn't it? Hold on. Before I get too carried away. Forget ordering them, right? Because yeah, you got a tier list, yeah, but none of this actually matters because let's say Sheeva loses to Nightwolf horrifically. Doesn't matter where that tier placement is at that point because it's like playing top trumps. It's like a game of Pokemon, isn't it? Like Jacqui Briggs gets smoked by like Robo or Sheeva, let's say. Doesn't matter where if she's the best in the game, or like who's really good against something here. There you go, Noob Jacqui, let's say. I don't really rate Noob, but new players, I'm pretty sure historically don't mind Jacqui. So it don't matter how good she is. Instead of playing like, oh, I'm going to pick all the top tiers, you need to think like, what are you picking these characters for? Like if Zub and Jacqui both get smoked by like, let's say hypothetically Nightwolf, what good is it playing both of them when you run into a Nightwolf? You need something, you need to round off your roster so that they are, it's inevitable, there's inevitably going to be a bad matchup for your character, so you need the character that complements them. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you need a complementary character if you're that bothered. If you ain't bothered, then obviously probably ain't even going to watch this. So in which case, what are you watching this for? But yeah, there's your list, you nerds.